Hey guys, Rob here and welcome back to Rob's Model Cars. Well, I've been in this hobby for a very long time, over 25 years now, and I've seen a lot of changes, lots of manufacturers, some come, some go, and my collection has changed a lot over those years as well. Almost got to 600 cars in my collection at one stage. I've sold a lot of them, I've bought some more, sold some more, and I've done a lot of that pre even this YouTube channel. But there's still some gems out there, and this particular review I'm going to do today is one of those gems. Now, these are not sold out from AUTOart. I actually got this one from AUTOart. With the little issues I had with the Bugatti Vision GT last year, AUTOart gave me a really good discount on my next purchase, so I decided to buy this. And this one is from the good old days of AUTOart Signature series models. Now, these were all full die-cast, seem to have a lot more quality and a lot more detail than all the newer composite models. I personally don't have a problem with composite models, but I am quite concerned that the level of detail and finish has dropped substantially since these signature models. That's been my experience anyway. I've reviewed quite a few composite models and I've sold a lot of them on as well because quite frankly, I wasn't happy with the quality of them versus the price. Now, AUTOart model prices have risen a lot since I got in the hobby a long time ago. Even 15 years ago, an AUTOart model was half of what they are now. I know we've got inflation and things like that, but I'm really not that happy about the price and what you get quality-wise with the new AUTOart models. This one is a different story. So what I've got to show you today is the McLaren 12C GT3. Now, this model I've wanted for a long time, and I've pulled the pin and bought it, and I'm so glad I did. So these were the old Signature Series boxes, black cardboard with all chrome lettering. Some models did come in a dark blue box with chrome lettering, but this one's black. Now, the model is inside in a foam shell to protect it. It does also come with a certificate of authenticity, like all old AUTOart models, which has a serial number on it. And they also came with a colour booklet, which actually had pictures of the model and information about the model, how many parts were in the model, things like that. That's something that's missing from the new models. I think these sort of things really gave you the impression that you were buying something special. Now they just feel more like they're just a mass-produced, cheaper toy. There's a couple of little pieces of paper in there as well, which shows you how to open the doors and such. In the top of the lid, there's actually the front hood of the model is in here. That's wrapped in a little plastic bag to keep the scratches off it. And the model itself is screwed into the base. So this is the McLaren 12C GT3. It's in the presentation version of McLaren Orange, which I love the most. And just looking immediately, you can see how much detail is under that front hood. Now, that's what I say. I think detail is lacking from the new models. And I think these older models just killed it detail-wise. So what I'll do, it does have a protection strap over the top to protect the doors as well. But I'll get this unscrewed, we'll put it on the turntable, we'll have a good going over this model and see how much detail there is in it, and we can sort of get an idea of how good the detail comparison is between these old AUTOart models and the newer ones. So let's get into this review. Okay, so here we have the glorious AUTOart Signature Series McLaren 12C GT3. Now, I love these presentation colours by most manufacturers, especially McLaren, because I really do love these orange presentation cars. I think it looks fantastic in the Heritage Orange by McLaren, and overall it is a wide body race car, and I do love my race cars. So first impressions of the model, it looks really good. It's got beautiful paintwork on it, nice clear windows, lots and lots of detail inside and out. And the stance is absolutely spot on for a race car. So yeah, really happy with the paintwork on this, and I love the big 12C GT3 on the door as well. Great touch there. Alright, let's start with the details. So let's talk about the front splitter. So the front splitter is just plastic. The outside edge is actually in a matte black, but the inside edge is actually carbon fibre, but it is a textured plastic carbon fibre, same as these side canards as well. So these side canards are in moulded plastic to look like carbon fibre, but they don't detract from the model on this one. There is photo etch mesh in the front, and you've got these nice little detailed struts to hold the front splitter to the front bumper bar, which is a nice touch. I think they've done a really good job on the headlights. Nice clear plastics are used in the headlights here. The detail inside is satisfactory, and you've got a little McLaren photo etch badge on the front of the hood as well. If we go to the fenders, these of course are the wide body fenders. You do have these big louvers all the way in the top of the fenders, which look really good both sides, and the front hood also has a couple of knacker ducts either side, and you've got all these vents through here as well. We'll have a look under here in a moment. Nice job on the mirrors as well, so the caps are all in orange and the stalks are in matte black. Nice reflective materials used behind for the mirrors. As I said, the windows plastics are very clear on the front windows, side windows and rear engine cover as well, so that's quite good. If we move to the side of the car, as I say, it's got the big 12C GT3 Presentation model number on the door. It's got some nice little decals here which say pull, which is for the door opening assembly, and this window features the sliding race window, whereas the passenger side that has no seat has none of that. Now this model does have a little aerial as well. It's just in the box and I have not fitted it, so it's usually got a little communications aerial there. Engine cover has some little venting down either side, finished in gloss blacks. This does open up, but I'll show you that shortly. And you've got this semi-gloss black air intake at the back of the engine glass as well. Nice big GT wing on this model. This is all in a semi-gloss black with the white McLaren decal on top. You've got some little bolts under there which hold the wing legs to the wing blade, which is quite nice. And the back of the model, they've done a reasonably good job on the tail lights, although they're just basically an LED strip, so I'm not sure how much more detailed they can make those. You've of course got your rear diffuser under here, which is also in moulded carbon fibre. A big piece of mesh here, and you've got some exhaust outlets there as well. Now the bottom of the model is all just moulded carbon fibre textured plastic, and you've got your serial number on there as well. So overall, the exterior of the model, I think they've done a really good job, good execution on it. For a die-cast model, the gaps aren't too bad at all. They are a little bit tighter on the composite models, but that also makes it a bit harder to open as well. So the gaps are pretty good on this model. The stance is very good. They've done a good job on the wheels, so these multi-spline wheels with the centre caps, also running the Pirelli P0 tyre writing. Of course they're slick tyres because this is a race car, but they do steer and they do roll all the way around the model as well. So I'd have to say, from the exterior of the model and the detail that I can see in the bodywork and the few decals here and there, I think AUTOart has done a pretty good faithful reproduction of this McLaren 12C GT3. I'm happy to add it into the collection with my orange F1 LM. They'll look great side by side. Now this is where the fun begins, because it is a fully opening model, so the front hood does come off. This is die-cast metal as well. The scoop underneath, this is all textured carbon fibre plastic, but it doesn't detract on this model. That doesn't look too bad. And here is where these old AUTOart models really shine. I love the amount of detail that is under the front here. So we've got a big PWR radiator here. You've got your air jacks, as it's a race car. You've got your fluid reservoirs. You have some ducting. There's some smaller hoses in there as well. This is the sort of detail that we want in our models, not just an empty cargo area like on the P1 GTR that I reviewed not long ago, where all that had was a radiator, where it should have had a lot more stuff like this model. So detail in the front there is really good. I have absolutely no complaints with that. In fact, I'm really quite impressed by the amount of detail under the hood of this model. So that is really good work, AUTOart. That looks fantastic. Now the engine cover does open up as well. This is on some nice delicate little metal hinges, and it does have some gas struts to hold it open. And again, not that you can see a lot of engine detail, but there is quite a lot of layers of detail in there, so of the engine, and there's some little loose hoses running here and there as well, which just add to the realism of the model. So I think that is the level of detail that we want. Obviously we want more, but look, you have to be realistic that these model car companies have to make a profit, and they have to draw the line somewhere how much level of detail they put in these models. But I'm happy with the amount of detail in this McLaren front and rear. It is an impressive model on display, especially with that front section. That is just an absolute highlight for me. I think that looks fantastic. Hopefully the camera's making it look as good as it looks in real life, because it really is quite impressive. So that's the front, that is the engine. Let's have a look inside. So yes, the doors do fully open, and even though it is a die-cast model and the doors are metal, they have no problem staying up on their own. Really solid mechanism, something that you just don't get on the composite models. The McLaren 650S GT3 that I reviewed last year, the doors feel really flimsy on that model. The doors on these feel really solid. You can really open and close those many times and they stay up. So great that it's a die-cast model, great that the doors stay up, and that reveals some detail on the interior. So again, we treated to a little bit of textured plastic carbon fibre. The inside of the door trims are all textured plastic carbon fibre look. It does have the window net, which is in a rubbery sort of material, and you've got a big door pull strap as well, which is in rubber. That looks fine. The other side is just a completely blank door trim panel in moulded plastic to look like carbon fibre. The sills are just black on the outside, but the actual inside of the sill is textured plastic carbon fibre as well, which is not too bad. Doesn't really make the model look bad or anything. It does have a black roll cage inside, which is gloss black, and there's a bit of detail on the floor, so your mandatory fire extinguisher unit. There's actually lots of hoses and cables running through the interior pan, which is something nice. And again, this car is just packed full of detail. Not sure whether you can see, but there's some ECUs and boxes on the back firewall of the interior. And the driver's side features a Recaro flock line seat, so it does have a texture to it. And you've got some cloth seat belts in there as well. So as you can see, the GT style steering wheel is connected to the steering wheel. I think they've done a really good job with the race dash, all the pedals, and all those hoses and electrical cables that are running through the interior. So really impressed with this model. So glad that I've got it to add to the collection now. I think it's well worthwhile the money and adding one of these. If you don't have one of these to your collection already, you've got to add one. I think you'll agree that the detail of these older AUTOart Signature models is really high. Not sure whether the new ones are living up to this kind of standard. But anyway, if I was going to give this a Rob score out of 10, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. Really impressive model, packed full of lots of details, and you can really see how much attention to detail was paid on these older models made by AUTOart. So if you want to add one of these to the collection, as I said, they're not sold out. They're still available on AUTOart's website, and there are a few on eBay I saw as well. So definitely add one to the collection, and I think you'll be really happy with it. So yeah, I'm going to give this a stellar 9 out of 10. Really good model. I'm not the biggest McLaren fan in the world, but I really love this model. I think it looks fantastic. And just look at that detail. Absolutely superb. So that's going to wrap up today's review of this AUTOart Signature Series McLaren 12C GT3. If you're new to the channel, why not subscribe? Don't forget to smash that like button if you like the video, and you can follow me on social media as well. So all the links are on the homepage of this YouTube channel. And don't forget to go and check out my merch too, 118 by Rob's Model Cars. Links below the video description will take you straight to my merch store where you can pick up some merch. So I hope you enjoyed today's model review as much as I enjoyed showing you as well. This literally just arrived 2 hours ago, so I thought I would film a review and show it to you guys straight away because I was really impressed with it. So stay tuned, plenty more model reviews for 2020, more custom models to build for 2020. But for today, that's the end of the review. And until next time, thanks for watching Rob's Model Cars.